this first fly that I'm going to be tying, what I'll do is I'll tie one, and then after I tie the fly, then we'll tie it together. So you should have 3 packets. You won't use everything in a packet. So for this fly, you're going to use a size 16 hook, an orange. There's an orange bead in there, and then there's some orange sparkle braid. So this fly, I start off, I've got 70 denier fly, just UTC in fluorescent orange. I use this sparkle braid in fluorescent fire orange, and I go to the craft store and get a 6mm glass bead in orange. One thing I want to mention, that when you go to buy beads, there's a reason why fly shops have a good selection of beads, and especially with glass beads. Yeah, you can go and buy them pretty cheap at the craft stores, but you've got to go through the beads that they've got, and as you look at them, make sure that your beads are good ones, that they're uniform, or you're just gonna have all kinds of headaches. I'll go to a store, like I got these were 75 cents for this ungodly forever supply. So I'm from my home is down in Murray, Utah, and I spend the winters in Murray, and in the summertime I go up. I've been going up since I retired 2.5 years ago. I've been going up and staying in my cabin in Island Park. I have a place off the Red Rock Road that is on the south side of Henry's Lake, and I go out there, and it's utopia. It's a wonderful place to spend time. I've gotten to know the guys at the Drift Lodge. They just built a brand new fly shop out on Highway 20, and I was running around with a guy from Utah on the fly, a guy by the name of Kerry Almond, and he's guided for Bud Lilly's fly shop up in West Yellowstone for 10 years, and he came to me asking me to tie some of these flies for him, because the guides were all getting these flies, but the shop wouldn't carry them, and they were really simple flies. So I started tying for him, and then I started tying for one of the other guides up there. And this first fly that I'm going to tie, this OJ, I stole from Al Rico. I don't know if you know Al Rico from the Bountiful Club. He's a local guy, but I've had tremendous success with this fly anytime there's a spawn on. I've caught fish on the Madison in the winter time on it. This time of year on the Green River, it just knocks them dead. So to start out with, if you get an opportunity and you're going to go up to fish anything in Island Park or anything outside of the park, Island Park, Yellowstone Park, the Madison arm from Hebgen Lake, keep in mind that this lodge that sponsors me, the Drift Lodge, they're closer to any of that fishing than you are even in West Yellowstone, with the exception of going inside the park. But we're about 19 miles. The shop's probably 18 miles from the west entrance into Yellowstone Park, and then we fish all the way up into the Fire Hole by Old Faithful. That's about 20 miles inside the park. You've got 16 miles to go into Madison Junction, and then above Madison Junction up to the Fire Hole is probably another maybe 10 miles. So you've got a lot of fishing and a lot of opportunities up there. And if you're up in that area, stop in the shop. They're very willing to help you out with local knowledge of what's going on. Mike has, this year, he'll be guiding inside of Yellowstone Park, so he's a concessionaire in the park. He's also got rights to guide out on Henry's Lake, if you're interested in that, and he's got guide opportunities on, God, what's the name of it? It slipped my mind. A private Sheridan, on Sheridan Lake, and that his guide prices, I think they were $350 for a $350 or $375 for a guided trip for a full day, and you can go on Sheridan Lake, and Sheridan Lake's $100 a rod. So to have a guide and a boat and supply your lunch and everything's a pretty good deal. So this first fly is the OJ. It's really simple. I start out by putting the orange bead on a Daiichi 1130 hook. It's just a scud hook. I tie these in 16s for up in Island Park and up north, and size 18 down here on the local waters. So start out with the bead. Just start your tie-in thread and go back to the point of the hook. Take some of this braid, one loose wrap, let you get it where you want it. Wrap it back to the bend of the hook. I thought your camera was blurry. I just need my glasses, I guess. Just to the edge of the hook, back up to the eye. Now, if you're using a rotary vise, you can just leave your thread up tight next to that bead, and you can use your rotary and wrap the fly forward. So I make 2 wraps in front, a couple wraps behind, trim it off. That should be a pretty easy warm-up for you. Then a whip finish. Now, one thing you want to do, you notice how I've got my tie-in thread and tension on my thread. The last thing I do after I tie a whip finish knot, and you always want to do that, is take your thumb and push it forward to lock that thread in. That'll keep it so you don't have to use head cement. And that's the OJ.